The long and winding route to the top of Mount Vesuvius will leave you in a sense of awe with amazing views overlooking the beautiful city of Napoli and the blue Mediterranean waters. Occasionally you might pass by some tourists that have stopped to take the usual Instagram photo that they have all came for. Or maybe you might pass one of the large tour buses in one of the many blind curves while praying you don't get ran over and squashed into a pancake. But it's still one of the most beautiful places you will ever see. The fresh lava flows will keep reminding you of just how dangerous this volcano actually is. But don't let that stop you from enjoying its beauty. You won't find a better place to come and watch the sunset. So I'm currently standing here on the top of Mount Vesuvius, and if you look behind me, right here, probably 300 or 400 yards, you'll see the top of the crater. It's incredible how massive this thing is. There's something about volcanoes that just interests me to no end. And I actually wanted to come to Italy to see Mount Etna that's erupting right now, and I will be there in a few days. But on my way, I stopped here in Pompeii and just to visit the volcano, because I didn't realize that it was actually going to be this incredible and this awesome to come and see. But I got here a little late this evening to the crater. As you can see, the access to it is closed this evening, but I come up here also to watch the sunset. Sunset over Nepal here is incredible from this view and from this altitude. It's just unbelievable. But it's crazy to look at this place. And if you look behind me, these mountain ranges that are incredibly huge and big, those are actually lava flows from this volcano. And I actually just learned today that this is actually one of the most deadly and active volcanoes in the world, because it has a tendency to erupt without any warning. Back in 79 AD, when it erupted and covered the city of Pompeii, they actually didn't even know it was a volcano. And there was a few rumblings, but that was about it, until all of a sudden the top blew off of it and completely covered the city of Pompeii in a pyroclastic cloud that just devastated this for hundreds of miles around this area. You can see even mountain ranges in this distance toward the Amalfi Coast. All of it is all lava, and I stopped to check some of it out earlier, and it's like all this is just lava rock, and it was created during that eruption. And you don't realize how young all of these mountains are until you realize that, this was just created, just a few thousand years ago when it erupted. And just incredible. It really is. It's incredible to come and see. If you haven't ever been on top of an active volcano and seen this, like it's incredible, something to come see, and what's actually been placed here. I'm a geography buff and a geological buff, I guess you could say. I love all this kind of stuff, so it's right down my alley. I hate that I wasn't actually able to go up and see the crater for myself. It is pretty dangerous up there, and they have it gated off pretty heavily. I guess you got to have a tour guide to take you up there. But I did get some good drone footage that I'll add into the video so you guys can see. It's completely incredible what it looks like up there and how deep the crater is. And I mean, if you look at the mountain from a distance, you realize that almost probably half of the top of the volcano has been blown off. And I couldn't imagine how tall it was back before it actually erupted and blown off like that. So it's just incredible. I just want to give you a shot of these mountains and how massive they are from the lava flows. You imagine how it actually, when it blew the top off, the majority of the lava actually flowed down this side and down this valley right through here that it actually created, and created all these mountains with the buildup of hot magma and lava. Incredible. It's crazy how big this is. So before I walk down Mount Vesuvius, or get down Mount Vesuvius, it's the road, just the drive up here is actually incredible. But so the last week I've been driving around Italy, and the driving here in Italy is it's intense. It's very aggressive, and they are like sharks with smelling blood in the water. You have to be very confident and make your way through all the roundabouts and intersections, because they don't feel sorry for you at all, and they will take advantage of you if you don't. Check this bad boy out. This has been my chariot, the Renault Silo C3. This baby looks amazing, and this is probably actually one of the finer cars here in Italy. I honestly wasn't sure about it when I booked it, but check this baby out. It is absolutely phenomenal. I have absolutely loved driving this car. And check it out. Wait, here's something's awesome. Something you'll find a lot in Italy. It's a 5-speed. That's right, 5-speed manual transmission, 103 horsepower. It don't get much better than this. Some of Italy's finest right here. So I'm currently standing in the ancient city of Pompeii that was destroyed in 79 AD by this big bad boy right back here behind me. I don't know if you can see it real good because of the humidity today, but when this thing went off, they had no idea that it was a volcano, and all of a sudden it just went off in the middle of the, and I think it was around 1 o'clock in the day, while they was out just doing their everyday thing and just living life. And this was a metropolis at that time. It was a bustling city of about 12 to 15,000 people. Beautiful. Right back here is the ocean of the Mediterranean, nestled upon this hill. It's just unbelievable. It would have been an amazing place to live here. But when this bad boy went off, it went off with the power of 1,000 Hiroshima and Nagasaki bombs. That's how powerful it was. And it covered this place in about 8 to 12 feet of debris and ash and all that stuff. But I'll give you a little tour around this place. So this would have been the temple of Apollo. As you can see, the pillars and the columns, and the temple would have been right there. Apollo was a Greek god that they actually worshipped, of power and healing, and he was a god of archery. And they believed that he actually was the god of also the sun.
So look with attention this place.
I bet this place was pretty cool back in the day.
You see a big old...
It's amazing what they actually were able to build here, because this is like a second part of Rome, I guess. This would have been connected to Rome, and it was almost built as beautiful as Rome would have been. Not quite as big, but still yet, it was still pretty amazing what they done. It's incredible what they was able to accomplish here in such a short amount of time. And it was amazing to think of how this city would have been walking down the streets of this city, just living your life every day here on the coast of the Mediterranean, and all of a sudden in an instant everything that was built here was destroyed almost in a second. It's crazy. Years and years and years what it took to build this place, and it was gone in an instant. So this would have been the weighing table. This is where they would weigh out all their foods, and how to, when they were buying it or trading it, they would weigh out their foods, and this one they knew when it fit, it's how much that it was. And this is where most of the bartering and trading would have happened and took place. So this is the Macaleum, or the market. This is where the market would have been, where they would trade and fish and buy and sell. Come out here and get your food for the week or the day, or whatever you wanted, I guess. It's pretty incredible. Some nice artwork they've uncovered here, if you could see it or not because of the light. Try to get in here where you can see it. So these are the cobblestone streets that I was talking about. They actually took a lot of time and effort to build this stuff. And if you look to my right and to my left, you would see homes after homes after homes of where people would live, and the sidewalks and things that they had created. And a lot of horse and buggies and a lot of chariots would have went down this direction. And if you kind of see here in the distance, those big stones in the middle of the road, well, those are there because when all the horse and buggies would come down through here, it would still get pretty muddy and all that stuff. So they actually put those in to where they could actually cross and step across the street without having to get in the middle of the street where all the mud and the muck and the mire is. So they really were pretty luxurious here, I guess you could say. So I'm standing in the place they would come to do their saunas. This is where they would retreat, come and take showers and baths and kind of just get pampered. They were here every day, and it's actually a pretty nice place. With all this accent, makes me want to speak foreign or something like that. Like, have a good day, mate. Or put a little shrimp on the bar day. Let's walk into the bathrooms and where they would shower. So this would have been the sauna that they would come to and sit in. And then when they got exhausted and tired from the sauna, they would go in this room where a pool would be, and they'd just begin to cool off in the pool. Yeah, this would have been the pool that it was in. The light coming down into the water. So this would have been one of the homes or the offices of someone that lived in the political realm. He had the high-end luxury apartment villa. I mean, how much time would it have taken to literally build these cobblestone streets and lay all these blocks in the way they are? And the interesting thing is, if you really look at it, it's all volcanic rock. It's amazing that they didn't know that that was a volcano when all the rock around here that most of this was created with was actually volcanic rock that's relatively pretty young. So this is called Casa della Fontana Piccola, which means the house of the small fountain, is what you would have found in here. The artwork on the walls is incredible. They really had very good artistic skills for what they were able to do with what they had to use at that time. It's amazing that it still remains here. Look at the tile on the floor and how much time it would have taken to place each one of these little tiny stones and tile work that they done. I mean, it's very intricate of what they actually done. And the majority of this place in this city has this kind of tile floor that they would have laid and put down. So I'm about to enter the Casa de Scorio, which is the house of Pollux and Castor. Would have been very rich and from that time. They actually had adjoining houses by this garden This would have been one of the gardens that they would have come and just hung out at and enjoyed the day, kind of like a park in the middle of the city. All these columns, and here would have been flowers and fountains and all that kind of good stuff. Just a place to come and relax and chill, hang out. Probably a great place to come and socialize.
So if you wanted,
Still currently doing some archaeological things here.
Organize the banquets, parties, celebrations with their friends. There were dining rooms, there were living rooms, but there is a room that we don't see, which is our sanctuary. The kitchen, no, in Italy, the kitchen is a sacred place. My mom doesn't want anyone in the kitchen when she cooks, so it's a sort of a religious ritual.
Right.
But at that time, the servants cooked. So the dining rooms are nice, but the kitchen was a very dark and obscure.
So this area would have been kind of the restaurants and dining area where they would come and dine out, and just as we do today, they had restaurants and dining places. They would cook and then just come and sit out in the garden and eat their food. So this is the Thermopolium, which was actually a fast food restaurant that was here that would serve hot food and drinks and all that kind of good stuff. It's amazing how like far above their time period that this place actually was, and how we kind of still follow those same customs today with the things that we do. It's actually incredible. So they actually had running water, and this would have been a place where water would continuously run and they could get drink, or maybe even their horses or whatever to drink from. But it's amazing that they had running, flowing water throughout this city just like we do today. I don't know if you could see or not, but this big bad boy back here behind me is Mount Vesuvius, and he's a little stubby right now from the last eruption that he had, but you can best bet he still packs a powerful punch. They say it's one of the most dangerous volcanoes in the world because it actually erupts without warning most of the time, and they say that's actually due for an eruption, and there's been some tremblings as of late, so it actually could be any time that we see another major eruption, just like it covered here the city of Pompeii 2,000 years ago. So this is the basilica, or the place where judgment would happen. This is where they would come to have cases and do all kinds of things like that. This would be like the judge's seat up there. The people would stand out here as they rule judgment and have court cases and politics and pass laws, and all that thing would be happen here. So these are some of the clay molds of the bodies that were found here in Pompeii. They're actually frozen in time, and when the volcano erupted, it completely covered them, and it preserved the bodies in the time of excavation. And they were just hardened clay basically, but they made molds of them, and it's crazy and interesting. This is more clay molds of a mother holding her child. There lays a child beside of her. The father, they were probably trying to protect each other. They literally instantly almost fell dead and was completely covered by the ash and the debris, and the heat basically preserved them. No oxygen. When they dug them up, they were able to find what was left of the bodies, and now they make clay molds of them. Well, that's about all there is to see here at Pompeii, and I'll see you in the next location. So I currently just left Pompeii and heading back to Rome to catch a flight to Malta, and I figured I would try to just reflect back a moment on the journey so far, and how everything's been and how everything went, because I didn't really think that I would actually like Italy as much as I have liked it, but it's grew on me very quickly. And the start of the journey, I went to Rome, and I'm not a big city type person at all, but I actually really truly enjoyed Rome. Rome had a lot of things to see, a lot of things to do, and you really never got bored. I was only there for about a day and a half, but in that amount of time, I've seen a lot of stuff. I experienced a lot of stuff. The food was amazing. It was a lot of crowds, a lot of big crowds. Everywhere you went, there was huge crowds. A lot of people just trying to sell you stuff, you know, normal stuff like that. You know, that you'll see about anywhere you go, in any country you go. I didn't really see a whole lot of like things that made me feel uncomfortable or what you would say dangerous. I guess it seemed to be a pretty relatively safe place, safe city. You know, I didn't feel unsafe at any time. The sights to see were awesome. They were beautiful. They were just breathtaking in some ways. Seeing the Colosseum and the Pantheon and other things like that was just awesome and a sight to see, and something I do highly recommend for everyone. And trying different restaurants, trying the gelato, the ice cream here in Italy is phenomenal. It's really good. Everybody recommends that. The sweets and the pastries, probably not as good as some places I've been, but they were some that was pretty good. But mostly the gelato was really good. Honestly, their breakfast has kind of minimal options. You have basically a croissant with either chocolate or cream in it, and sometimes some ham and cheese and a little bit of bread. But nevertheless, it was a good hearty breakfast. It was good. Not a lot to choose from, but it was actually pretty good. I've tried the lasagna, the carbonara so far, and the pizza. Magnifico. Like, it was amazing. The lasagna I ate today was really, really good. It didn't taste like any lasagna I've ever ate, but it was really good. The pizza, the sauce was really unique. It was really fresh. The dough is amazing. The cheese is amazing. The fresh ham on it, it was just unbelievable. The dishes are really good. The pastas were really good. It was really good stuff. But Rome was really awesome. I really enjoyed Rome. I'd love to get to come back and do some things. I've done about everything I wanted to see in Rome. There was a few things I didn't get to do because they wasn't offering tickets or tours or anything at that time. But I've enjoyed Italy enough that I do believe that I'll be back probably sometime soon. I stayed here in Pompeii for probably the last 3 days or so, and it was very interesting and very enjoyable. There's a lot to do here in Mount Vesuvius. I loved Mount Vesuvius. I'm a huge fan of volcanoes and archaeology and geology and geography and all those things. So this is right down my alley, and just to see the power of Mount Vesuvius and just the danger of knowing what it's still capable of doing at any moment is it just keeps you kind of a little bit on edge in the back of your mind, and it kind of a little bit of adrenaline, I guess. But I went up on Mount Vesuvius at least twice, once to watch the sunset, once to explore it. I didn't get to go to actually the crater, but I did get some good drone footage of that. Exploring the ruins of Pompeii today was actually really cool. I didn't realize how massive and how big it was, and I spent probably 2.5 or 3 hours there, and I probably didn't see probably even half of it. I know there's some things I missed, like the amphitheater and stuff like that, but it was really cool to get to see all that and what happened and how they were able to build all that stuff. It's mesmerizing. It's like, how did they do that 2,000 years ago? How did they have the technology to do that? But they were very intelligent, very creative in everything they done. Like, everything that they built was extremely creative. All the tile on the floor were very decorative, had images and pictures drawn in it, and just all the paintings and stuff on the walls it would have been a sight to see back then. I'd imagine that it was an amazing metropolis of where it was just relaxing and peaceful, and the sauna and the pools and the restaurants and things just as we have today, and just incredible. It really is, and it's something that I recommend that everyone get to come see.